guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh, that feels so strange even just saying that right now. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've been on YouTube, primarily because life just gets in the way. I had a lot of big life changes within the last 2 years, and I don't feel like I need to explain myself. To be fair, I think a lot of people will understand, but I just thought I would come back on YouTube, maybe do a video, say like every couple of weeks, not to put too much pressure onto myself, because genuinely, I mean, the main reason why I started in the first place is because I have a love of perfume and fragrances. I found a lovely community who also agreed with me with a lot of different topics, and you know, it was never a way of, you know, wanting to become, you know, huge on YouTube or anything, because at the end of the day, perfume collecting is a very niche topic anyway, and I felt like, oh, I don't really need to do a video explaining why I've been off for 2 years, because as I said, not that many people watched me in the first place, and I'm hoping a lot of you will be quite understanding. So I thought, why not just kind of get right back into it. I have had quite a few new fragrances added to my collection. Even though I was off for 2 years, it didn't necessarily mean that I stopped buying fragrances or loving fragrances. That's always been the case. I've always thought to myself that I'm more of a curator rather than like a proper collector. I find like a lot of people on Insta and stuff, they have these crazy collections with literally 10 or 12 perfumes within that brand, and that's just not me. But yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. Today's video is kind of concentrated around more darker, deeper, feminine fragrances. Some would even call these seductive fragrances. I don't know whether I can stretch that far, because everyone kind of has their own version of what they would class as seductive, but I'm planning on doing 2 videos, one of which being this one, which is the darker, deeper, and then a second one being lighter, more soft feminine fragrances, you know, because I feel like there's this trend of soft life, and I reckon I have quite a few nice fragrances for that one. So the first fragrance that I have is from a brand that I don't really know too well. I've smelt a few of their fragrances, but none in like the main line. So I was really pleasantly surprised when I smelt this fragrance. I just said, wow, it took my breath away. To be fair, for the amount that you get, I didn't think the price was, I say the price wasn't that bad. I think a lot of people will be like, Pika, come on, relax. It's still a lot of money. Considering it's 100 ml and it's a very, very strong fragrance. I think I paid like 180 or 190. So it's called Cuir Granat by Parfumeur. And it is primarily a fruity, leathery fragrance, which many people might find very strange. So again, don't blind buy this, please test it out first. I'm sure you'd be able to get samples somewhere. So this is how the bottle looks like. I think it's so beautiful. And as I said, it's called Cuir Granat. And I'm just gonna, oh wow, yeah, this is incredible. It first opens up with raspberry, and I assumed when I first read the note, well, when I first was told the notes with it being raspberry, I thought to myself, I hope that it's not that artificial, you know, strawberry raspberry kind of scent. And it's not really, it's quite sweet, delicate, it's not too overpowering. What I initially get is that raspberry mixed with a pepperiness, like a red pepper, then goes down into like a soft amber with leather. So that leather is, it can be a little bit on the smoky side, but that is what is so incredible about this fragrance, because you have kind of like the total opposites what you'd find in fragrance normally, which is that raspberry fruity opening mixed with that almost harsh, smoky, leathery base. I think it's so beautiful, very seductive. To me, it's quite feminine with it being on the sweeter side. But if you've never tried it before, please sample it. It's absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to wear this fragrance. So the next fragrance that I have, I've had it for quite a while now. I don't think I've actually ever talked about this one, and to be honest, like, you can definitely get it for a good price, considering I think it's either a 75 or 100 ml bottle. It lasts forever. It has the most beautiful dry down, and considering it's in like the more premium kind of line of Van Cleef and Arpels, it wasn't that expensive. I think I paid maybe £90 for it, but it's in this really beautiful bottle, very minimalistic, white plain with the normal label right there. I don't know whether you can see it. Comes with the leather, like brownish tassel, and it's just gorgeous. What is Oud Blanc? To me, this is a very simple fragrance, and sometimes simplicity is key, guys. I think many people tend to overdo it. This would be a fantastic layering fragrance as well. So if you're into a very soft, almost Thai oud, I doubt that this contains a real oud, by the way, so don't get me wrong. I think this is quite literally just in the chord of oud, mixed with this beautiful, oh, I could just smell it now, very soft vanilla. And those two in contrast make it quite powdery. That's the only way I can describe it. It's a powdery oud. It's sweet, it's very inviting, but that oud note does make it a little bit more on the deeper seductive side. So I can imagine this layered with maybe like a honey tobacco kind of fragrance, or even like a deep floral. It kind of smells like an oudy version of Orchid Vanille by Van Cleef and Arpels. So if you've smelled that fragrance, imagine that more vanillic, softer, powdery. And as I said, you can definitely get it for a good deal. So that is Oud Blanc by Van Cleef and Arpels. So I'm coming with an oldie but a goodie. I think many people will know this fragrance anyway, but sometimes it's nice just to remind people, okay, this is an incredible fragrance, and I don't really like a lot of the Initio perfumes. Why did I say perfumes? Perfumes. And the reason being is that I find a lot of them to be quite synthetic, a little bit overpowering. I mean, they're blended really well, but I can't put my finger onto it. There are just some in the line that I really don't like. This, on the other hand, side effect is absolutely incredible. And I'm just going to spray it here. And the reason why I find this so seductive, it has that honey tobacco note. It's sweet whilst being leathery at the same time. It also has a bit of booziness to it, which I really enjoy. I think boozy fragrances, particularly on women, kind of give this androgynous, sexy appeal. That's the only way I can describe it, and I've been complimented a number of times in this fragrance. It's also a really good layering fragrance, so I can imagine this with like a lighter, almost like a white floral scent. I think that would be really yummy, or gourmand, like a fruity gourmand, caramel even. It's just gorgeous. So if you've never tried it, definitely try Side Effect by Initio. So the next fragrance that I have is one that was given to me for Christmas as a present, which I'm super grateful for, because honestly, it's one of those fragrances that I think is so timeless. Oh gosh, that is such a cringe word. I know a lot of people tend to use timeless, but genuinely, I think any age group can wear this. Maybe super young, not so much, because it is a little bit more mature. It's a very simplistic fragrance, and this is again why I love it so much. I think the older that I become, the less interested I am in super elaborate fragrances, have various different openings and dry downs. I mean, it's fantastic to put, you know, to have somebody on that journey, but sometimes simplicity is key, guys. And as I said, you can layer simple fragrances, so you can create your own concoctions, which is really exciting. This is called, gosh, I'm going to really butcher the name, Baciami by Bulgari. Fantastic fragrance. So initially, you do get a sweet gardenia, orange blossomy kind of opening, but then very soon that dries down to a vanilla musk. It is absolutely incredible, mixed with a bit of ambriness. It has a lot of warmth, this fragrance. If you're not a fan of vanilla, you will definitely not like this, because I think a lot of people might find it almost cloying, with it being on the stronger, sweeter side, mixed with that amber. But primarily the key notes that you get from this is that very realistic gardenia white floral buttery opening mixed with that vanillic ambery base. Quite literally all you get. There's not a lot of, as I said, there isn't a lot of change in this fragrance. It's very sexy. And so if you've never tried it, try Baciami by Bulgari. So for my more mature ladies, I have a fantastic fragrance for you. It's a designer one. It's not that expensive. This is a very hit and miss. I think most people would find this rather sexy, but I think it's more geared towards an older woman as opposed to a younger woman, and primarily because this is like a chypre fragrance, so it has that classic structure of a chypre fragrance, and it's very patchouli heavy and rose heavy. So and I don't think it's overly mature or old in any way. I think because it has that very classic scent, most people just come to that conclusion. But anyway, this is called Izia. I think it's Izia or Izia la Nuit. And it is absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to spray this. So in the beginning, it just opens with a very fruity geranium rose mixture. Almost has like a bit of a lemony touch in the beginning as well. So automatically it gives you that bit of zing and that feminine geranium rose, Bulgarian rose type of root. But soon enough, you kind of go into this leathery, patchouli base, and this is where to me becomes very sexy, because you still have that Bulgarian rose in the beginning, that sweet geranium, and then goes down into like a musky patchouli, quite dark fragrance. You know, this is very affordable. It's not super expensive, so if you have not tried it, please give it a go. Izia la Nuit. So the next fragrance that I have is one that I don't think, again, that I've spoken too much about. This one is a limited edition one. I think I got this for Valentine's a couple of years ago, something like that. To be fair, I can't really remember. This is Thameen Peregrina. And this is the extrait version. So this isn't normal eau de parfum, this is the extrait, and as a result it is definitely on the heavier side. So I'm just going to pull it out like that, and you can see the bottle. Do you know what? There is a lot of hit and miss with Thameen. The one thing that I'll say that I've noticed, and I think another representative told me this as well when I was perfume shopping not too long ago, they said to me sometimes, and don't quote me on this because these aren't my words, but a representative from another company was like, oh, you know, they have very similar fragrances to others out there. It's a really beautiful fragrance and I need to wear it more, to be honest. So I'm just going to spray some here. This to me is your classic warm, a little bit gourmand feminine fragrance. It's not incredibly unique, but you know, sometimes, as I said, simplicity is key. You don't have to go overboard. I do smell a really lovely note of jasmine in the very beginning, like a very light jasmine, and then very soon it goes into an ambery gourmand mid and base. You smell caramel as well as like a soft musk amber in the background. Overall, it's just a really nice, sweet, seductive fragrance. Leaves a really amazing trail. The only thing that I would say, and this is feedback that I got from somebody that I wore when I wore it at work, I think I maybe overdid it, but they said they found it a bit cloying. Maybe it could be the caramel in this, it could be the amber. I'm not entirely sure, but I do kind of get what she means because it does have a bit of a muskiness to it. So again, I wouldn't go overboard with this one, but it's still a very beautiful fragrance, sexy and seductive. So that is Peregrina by Thameen. So the last fragrance that I have, which I think is super seductive, a little bit more of a deeper floral. I mean, I could have included like Rouge Malachite or Malachite, I should say, or to be fair, I had a few other ones like Ombre Nuit or a Nickel 5. You know, like I feel as the perfume community gets larger and larger and people, you know, show new exciting fragrances, I think sometimes it's good to peel back and just remember the very good OG fragrances that sometimes miss in their collection, or they tend to forget because they think, oh, lots of people have smelt this fragrance. But when I tell you, Jasmine Rouge by Tom Ford is genuinely one of the most sexy, deep floral fragrances you can find on the market. I really need to buy another bottle of this because I just go through it like there's no tomorrow. And it is just the, oh God, you can already It's just the most incredible, sweet jasmine sambac fragrance mixed with a bit of like cinnamony, spicy note with some yellow florals. You do get like a buttery yellow floral touch to this. I think it comes from the ylang ylang. So automatically you just have this beautiful array of indolic jasmine sambac, soft buttery yellow florals. Why am I doing this with my hands? You can tell how much I love this fragrance. Like a cinnamony, spicy edge, and then settles down into a very beautiful leathery jasmine. I absolutely adore this fragrance. So yeah, I mean, as I said, sometimes go back to the OGs, guys. Like, you know, I think sometimes they don't get enough love. I think people concentrate on the newer ones. And yeah, that's Jasmine Rouge by Tom Ford. Alright guys, so that's a wrap for today's video. It kind of feels a bit surreal being back on YouTube, considering I've literally been off for more than 2 years. I didn't want to do a whole waffle video because I don't think it's fair on you guys to have to sit through that. I genuinely hope that you enjoyed this video. As I said, I have a few more coming up. Please don't expect me to upload super regularly. I know that's quite harsh for me to say, but I do have a lot of other things that I'm concentrating on, and this to me is just a passion, love, hobby. So yeah, hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.